I achieved a 50% return on investment in just 15 months thanks to an off-plan project in Dubai. I know 50% in 15 months sounds huge. And now you're probably thinking, here we go again, another dream seller. No, stay with me until the end. I'll give you all the details. With which developer, on which project, and of course, in which neighborhood did I achieve this kind of performance? I'm going to reveal everything to you, and especially how the choice of my apartment was crucial in achieving this result. And as always, I'm sharing my numbers with complete transparency, with proof to back them up. So on the agenda, we'll look together at how much I bought it for. What is the market value of this type of property today? Why did I achieve such a large return on investment? And above all, we'll ask ourselves if this kind of deal is still possible in Dubai today. And if the answer is yes, of course, I'll give you all the tips so you can also seize this kind of opportunity. Make sure to stay until the end because I'm going to show you how to identify projects that can allow you to replicate this kind of performance. I'm Agathe. I've been living in Dubai since 2013 and I've been investing here in off-plan buy and sell projects for over 10 years. On this channel, I share all my tips and experiences to help you be profitable in this unique market and to help you avoid common pitfalls. If, like me, you're tired of dream sellers and completely unrealistic numbers, and you're looking for concrete and honest information about off-plan real estate investment in Dubai, subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming tips. Alright, let's get started. Let me show you the details of this deal I was offered last year and why it was a no-brainer. There was no way I could let it pass. Quite simply because it ticked all the boxes that made it a unique opportunity, even with the large number of units available in this project. These criteria are a reputable developer, a super premium neighborhood, a very specific type of apartment, and an unbeatable payment plan. The project I chose is called Central Park. Central Park is a project I really like because it truly brings together all the essential criteria for making a good investment. Let's start with the first criterion, which is the developer Meraas. With Meraas, honestly, you really can't go wrong. I've already talked about it, but I'll give you a quick introduction for those who haven't seen the previous videos. It's a developer that is 100% government-owned, and it always develops projects that are highly valued by investors thanks to the quality of their finishes and their locations. To give you a few examples, Meraas is behind successful projects such as Blue Waters, Port de la Mer, City Walk, and also Madinat Jumeirah Living. The second criterion is the super premium neighborhood Central Park. Central Park is a subdivision of City Walk, which is one of Meraas' flagship developments. It's a neighborhood located 5 minutes from downtown, 10 minutes from the beaches, and about 10 minutes as well from DIFC, which is Dubai's financial center. It's a neighborhood that is highly sought after by the European population. It's super trendy, and as proof, the price per square meter in City Walk has increased by 70% over the past 3 years. When I was offered a resale in the Myrtle building, which is one of the first phases of the Central Park project, honestly, I didn't hesitate for a second, and I'll explain why. But before that, let's take a closer look at Central Park. What makes this project unique is that it's a collection of about a dozen buildings constructed around a huge central park within City Walk. And when I say huge, I really mean enormous. This park is completely secure and reserved exclusively for residents. And that adds a super exclusive and high-quality aspect to the project. What's interesting is that from the moment it launched, Central Park was a huge success. Demand skyrocketed and there were really far more buyers than available units. And Myrtle was one of the very first phases to be released. So being an early phase also means lower prices. Third criterion, a very specific type of apartment. Because here we're offering an apartment in this phase, but not just any apartment. A corner unit on the top floor, the 7th, with an unobstructed view of the sea. And all that for 412,000 euros. Just to give you an idea, at that time, units in the later phases on the lower floors were already selling for 490,000, even 500,000 euros directly from the developer. So for me, it was really a no-brainer. You had to go for it. So that you can fully understand all the details of this deal, I'm going to give you a complete breakdown of the numbers. The apartment, as I mentioned, I bought it for 1,650,000 dirhams, which comes to 412,500 euros. To this amount, I added the DLD fees of 16,500 euros and the agency fees of 8,250 euros. So in total, this apartment cost me 437,250 euros. And this is where the fourth criterion comes in, the unbeatable payment plan. Because what you need to know is that I bought with a 50-50 payment plan and I simply took over this plan from the developer. Specifically, I paid the first buyer what he had already paid to the developer, plus his profit, and the remaining 50% I will pay directly to the developer, Meraas, at the time of delivery. So here's what I actually spent at the time of purchase. I paid 198,600 euros to take over what had already been paid. To this, you add the acquisition fees, so in total I paid 223,350 euros at the time of the transaction. The rest will be due at delivery. That's why, financially, this deal was really attractive. This type of payment plan, combined with a premium apartment, not only optimizes my cash flow, but also the potential for appreciation upon resale. Today, 15 months later, the latest recorded transaction for an apartment on Myrtle reached 1,900,000 dirhams, which is about 475,000 euros. But keep in mind, we're talking about an apartment on the 4th floor with no particular view facing the street. Mine, on the other hand, can easily be estimated at around 500,000 euros today, thanks to its corner location, being on the top floor, and having an unobstructed sea view. And to be honest, I even received an offer for 550,000 euros, but I didn't accept it. If we do a simple calculation based only on this last reference transaction and not at all on the offer I received, that already represents a profit of 28% compared to what I initially invested. All that in just 15 months and without doing absolutely anything. If we base it on the specific features of my apartment and calculate using the offer at 550,000 euros, then we're actually looking at a 50% return on investment in 15 months because I make a net capital gain of 112,000 euros for an investment of only 223,000 euros since the delivery hasn't even taken place yet. And now you're going to say to me, but Agathe, why didn't you sell? 50% in 15 months? That's huge. No, I understand the question, but I'll explain why. Today it's December 2024, and the delivery of this apartment is scheduled for April 2025. That's basically tomorrow. So yes, there might be a little bit of a delay, but honestly, that doesn't bother me because I'm not in any rush at all. What interests me is seeing the potential at delivery, and especially in terms of rental value. Why? Because right now, the only building delivered in Central Park, which is Building 1, is literally in the middle of a huge construction site. We're already seeing rental transactions between 35,000 and 50,000 euros per year for a simple one-bedroom apartment. And that's in a context where everything else is still under construction. Just imagine what it's going to be like once the entire project is finished, with the park, the amenities, and all the buildings delivered. The rental value and resale value are going to skyrocket. So for me, it's obvious. I'm going to wait for the delivery, put the apartment up for rent, and see how it goes. I'm convinced that this strategy will maximize the return on this investment, and I'm really curious to see how high it can go. And when that happens, I promise I'll make a new video to give you the numbers, contracts in hand. Now you might be asking, how do you go about doing the same thing? To succeed with this kind of real estate deal in Dubai, there's no secret. The key is the strength of your network. Without that, you miss out on the best opportunities. If I hadn't been in contact with agents who have been established in the market for years and who specialize in this type of project and location, I never would have been able to access this resale. I'll tell you how it happened, actually. They called me while I was driving and I had to make a decision immediately. I made the decision on the spot, and an hour later I had already deposited the down payment check because I knew the market very well and I was able to recognize the opportunity. Now, the best way to go about this kind of investment is to buy directly from the developer. This is clearly the best option because that's when you buy at the lowest price. You are the first to invest and therefore the one who maximizes your profits when reselling. So if you want to succeed in this market, surround yourself with the right agents. They need to be well connected with developers, have access to the initial launch phases, and be able to secure the best opportunities for you right from the start. That's the real secret. So is it still possible to do this kind of deal in Dubai real estate? Yes, absolutely. Now let's be clear, I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not going to tell you which project or which developer will allow you to succeed with this kind of investment. But what I can guarantee is that if you always stick to the basic criteria, there's no reason it shouldn't work. We're going to review these criteria together. An impeccable developer. Really prioritize solid developers with an excellent reputation and a strong track record in terms of resale performance. Second, a central location. In Dubai, location is everything. You need to be close to major points of interest in sought-after neighborhoods where demand remains high. Third, a project with strong demand. Look at the numbers, the projects that sell quickly and attract a wide range of clients. Those are the ones that will give you the most potential for appreciation. And finally, fourth, an unbeatable payment plan, and that's the little extra. If you find a project with an advantageous payment plan that allows you to limit the amount you have to tie up at the start, you maximize your return. It's becoming increasingly rare, unfortunately, but it's still possible. So yes, these opportunities still exist, provided you do your research well, surround yourself with the right people, and above all, are extremely responsive. In Dubai, good deals never stay on the market for long. There you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video, but more importantly, that you learned things that will inspire you to do the same. By the way, if you would like personalized advice or want to learn more about how to invest in off-plan real estate in Dubai, feel free to contact me directly via the link in the description. And who knows, maybe one day I'll be telling the story on this channel about the capital gain you too made with your off-plan real estate investment in Dubai. See you soon in the next video.